Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Poppy, it's that time where we get a chance to have a crack or say they've done a good job. Want to have a crack on this one. So this is a headline that's been doing the rounds just this week in sport. So this is the headline. Hockeyroos poster girl Anna Flanagan still eligible for Rio despite a drink driving charge. Now, Anna's excuse, she accepted a lawyer's advice not to say anything when she got picked up for drink driving, which she didn't do. She didn't say anything. Now she's been told she must respond to the Australian Olympic Committee with a please explain. Flanagan's also been dropped for 2 vital lead-up tournaments, so she's still eligible for Rio. Yes. But the AOC may decide whether she can or can't go. Now, she's been handed a penalty, of course, by the court. Law. Yes. She was 0.15 over. So she had a couple of wines with some friends in camp. Thought it was okay to drive home. Very Luke Hodge-like, it's starting to sound like to me. Okay, so she's got fined, licence suspended, and now they're saying, oh, well, hang on a minute, we might not let you go to Rio. Honestly, what has it got to do with the AOC?
Look, I'm not sure that it's got a lot to do with the AOC. I'm sure, though, the governing sport, Hockey Australia, for instance, should have been notified if they weren't notified, just as a courtesy so that they could manage the media's approach towards it. Yeah, and I think so. I think if they could do that, that would be good. I'm not sure why she wouldn't have informed them if she did.
Her lawyer advised her not to. So she was going under her lawyer's advice.
Yeah, but I think...
Sorry, Anna's 24 years old too. So.
And when a lawyer says that, I understand you should be compelled to follow a lawyer's advice. The fact is you've got an obligation. Sport is your life at that level. She's made a mistake. I wouldn't hang her for it at all. In fact, I wouldn't even let her miss 2 games because the court has given her punishment. I'm not sure how the sport, the team, the AOC benefit from having a player that's going to participate in Rio actually missing games. If they're to be fined or if you're going to get a suspended sentence, have something hanging over her head just to get her in line. The only right way you might be critical of her, if there was a no drinking, absolutely no drinking understanding within that team for a period of time, and she's broken that rule, then they do have the right, in my mind, to also apply a punishment.
All right, so we can understand the Hockeyroos saying you should have told us, so we're giving you a little penalty for that, in that you'll miss these two games.
Yeah, but look, but I get that, Phil, but the thing is, okay, you're going to miss these 2 games.
I'm saying that's why they did it.
Yeah, but how is that going to be better for anybody other than to be seen to do the right thing, which in actual fact is not the right thing for the team or the sport.
So now you've taken the words out of my mouth. So who are you penalising? Are you penalising Anna or are you penalising the team?
You're cutting off your nose to spite your face to be seen to be doing the right thing in the public.
All right. Now, if it had been illicit drugs, we'd say done,
different
not
scenario.
Going. But I'm saying, are we getting a bit carried away? And the focus, that's what happens. So the media attention now switches.
Between now and Rio.
We're in the 60-day mark of the Olympic Games.
Yes.
So focus is starting to shift.
Yes.
If this had happened last year, would it even be a story?
No. But as we get closer, athletes need to be aware, and they should be taught well. I'm not sure why they're not. They should be taught well. Like, even if you feel as though you're okay at this level, err on the side of caution.
Okay, then why does she have to have a please explain to the Olympic Committee? Couldn't we just have a phone call and say this is what's gone on? Why does it have to be? It's a big deal, or it appears that they're making something out of nothing. Now, we may be being a bit harsh on Kitty Chiller and the people at the AOC, but to me it's like...
To tell you the truth, though, I don't know Kitty Chiller from a bloke down the road, but it seems to me Kitty Chiller's having a lot to say about a lot of things at the moment. I'd rather she only say things that are about the benefit of the team rather than having an opinion on a lot of things. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
No, I agree.
But from a layman's point of view, I've probably heard enough of Kitty Chiller at this stage.
All right, I want to ask you this one. We'll move off of that one. Jason Gillespie said no to Buff Lehman. Of course, Buff Lehman and the Australian team have offered Dizzy. There was a lot of rumour, and there was talk about it last year too in a coaching position. So they've offered Dizzy the bowling for the Australian cricket team.
Yes.
Dizzy's response initially, when he hadn't been fully spoken with, was that it'd be doubtful because it's a lot of time away from a young family.
Yes.
Things are set up really good for me here at Yorkshire. I'm doing really well. He's now officially turned them down.
Okay.
Are you surprised? I mean, it's a pretty important job.
Look, it is an important job, but I guess, and you know what it's like. It is, but your job is to provide the best for your family. And that's a mixture of financial and lifestyle. And if they're comfortable and it's financially rewarding for them there, I get it. Look, at the end of the day, I get it. And if at some stage he'd like to make Australia or Adelaide is home again, there will be opportunities.
Look, I think he's made the right decision. And I agree with you. Dizzy's the kind of bloke that's really family orientated, so he's not going to be happy with a long time away.
Yeah.
If you're not a happy coach, you're not a good coach.
If it's a senior coaching role, completely different.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now, mate, how do you determine a great player, good player, average player, bad player? What's in your mindset for that?
Okay, so this is a question without notice, but I'm prepared. So for me, I reckon there's varying levels of commitment that make the difference. So the difference between a bad and a good player might be just the application at training. The difference between good and a great player is those things that you do within the course of a game. And they are things that might not always get on the stat sheet, running to where the ball isn't to open up space for a teammate, working a lot harder to pick up that extra 2 or 3 possessions, doing a lot more training to pick up, to be able to hold 1 or 2 marks. At the end of the day, your stat sheet in saying 20 possessions says 25, 26. You've lifted. And great. Unfortunately, it's a mixture of hard work and natural talent, from my point of view. I think there's not a whole lot of greats that haven't got a core of natural talent, but have got the work ethic of a real battler. They just leave nothing what's the word I'm looking for? Unturned.
Unturned. Yeah. All right. An Olympic coach once said to me,
yes,
he determines a great player, good player, average player, poor player.
Yeah.
If you're a great player,
yes,
then your worst performance will always be good. So you'll either be somewhere between good and great. Now, if you're a player that plays between poor and good, you're an average player.
Yes.
Because you can't stay on the good and great mark. And then you've got the poor player. Yeah. So he's saying there's a group of players.
But can't you just call him an inconsistent player who is great on his day?
But do we throw great around too much?
We throw great.
He was just great on the weekend. What a great player.
Yes.
He's played 1 good game.
Yeah. So are you referring to Tex Walker?
Oh, well, no, I'm not referring to Tex Walker.
Are you referring to Tex?
I think Tex is a good player. Curls has ignited
a lot of
fire.
people say he's a great player.
Who?
Whereas
who's a great player?
A lot of people say that Tex Walker is a great player.
He's not a great player.
Well, that's So you think he's just a good player?
I think he doesn't justify being called great. Has he been consistently good and great?
Unbelievable. You are so loyal to your mate. So Neil Curley obviously made the point that he doesn't regard him. He feels as though he goes missing in the big games. Now, last week...
Is that unfair?
The stats prove that Curls was right.
Okay.
At that time.
Right. So now we're down to Texas somewhere between good and average as a player.
No, I'm not.
Well, he's not good and great because he's not consistent.
But on the weekend against GWS, a top 4 side, he kicks 5
and played really well.
He plays
played a beauty.
But can you, going forward, if there's more consistency at a higher level, can he be regarded as a great player?
Okay, let me ask you this: is Jonathan Brown a great player?
He is.
Wayne Carey, was he a great player?
Yes, he was.
Okay, is Tex Walker in that group?
Not yet.
No, so he's not a great player yet.
No, not yet.
So stop calling him great. Stop putting the pressure on Tex.
But there's 2 players that have had a career and finished, and there's one that's probably not even halfway yet.
Well, then let's let him get to that. I'm saying we load so much expectation and pressure on Tex. I'm actually, I know it sounds like I'm having a crack at Tex, I'm actually defending him.
Well, hang on.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance. Let me use Eddie Betts as an example then. Is Eddie Betts a great player?
No, he's a spectacular player.
Okay. I don't disagree.
Do you think he's great?
No, I was just trying to reel you in and to knock you out, but you actually didn't fall for it.
All right, time for us to go. We'll argue about this off air in a little while. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Look forward to you coming next week.
You look like something about Mary.